Good evening, Rutu. Okay, so what we have studied yesterday, can anyone tell? रिवाइज किया आपने जो आपने कल पढ़ा था? We are studying the first lesson, reproduction in lower and higher plants. Yes, and what part done yesterday? कल क्या स्टडी किया आपने? Yes, very good, Yogita. Shraddha, yes, structure of anther, correct. So yesterday we studied about tears of anther and development of male gametophyte, right? And we also studied about the structure of pollen grain. How is the pollen grain, its structure? That also we have studied. Okay, correct. Microsporogenesis. Very good, Yogita. So let's now study further. Okay, so अब तक हमने क्या देखा? Till now we have studied about asexual reproduction, its modes, different modes of asexual reproduction. Then we studied vegetative reproduction in case of plants, natural vegetative propagation and artificial methods, sexual reproduction. Then under sexual reproduction, we have studied structure of anther, correct?
2. Activity. Carefully grown to give many plant length.
Okay, very good. So anther ball layers we have studied yesterday. Good. Yes. So yesterday done tears of anther wall layers, different wall layers like epidermis, middle layers, epidermis, endothelium, middle layers, and the innermost is the tapetum. Correct. Okay, so today we'll begin with the next part, female part, that is structure of anatropous ovule. Structure of ovule. Each ovule develops inside the ovary. Now, where the structure ovule develops, it develops inside a structure called female ovary, which is attached to placenta by a small stalk called as funiculus. So, observe, this is the first, observe the diagram. ये किस चीज की डायग्राम है? ओव्यूल की. कल हमने पोलन ग्रेन देखा था. पोलन ग्रेन में मेल गैमेट्स कैसे बनते हैं ये हमने कल देखा. ठीक है. So what is today's topic? Ovule structure. Where the ovule is present? Inside the ovary. Flower के parts, stigma, style and ovary. So inside the ovary, the ovule is present, and the ovule shows these different parts which we are going to study in detail. This type of ovule is known as anatropous ovule. This is inverted, bent हो गया ये ovule. This is the stalk known as the funicle. The ovule is attached to the ovary with the help of a nutritive layer called placenta. Okay, you can observe here. The ovule. आपने लेडी फिंगर देखा है सभी ने, लेडी फिंगर. ओके, भिंडी को जब हम कट करते हैं तो उसके अंदर आपको सर्कल्स में छोटे छोटे ओव्यूल्स नजर आते हैं व्हाइट कलर के. ओके, so in the ovary, that complete lady finger is the ovary fruit, which has turned into fruit, and inside that fruit you can observe that small ovules which later on develop into seeds. Okay, so that individual ovule has this structure. ये structure होता है उस individual specific ovule का. So ovule is attached to the ovary wall with the help of placenta. The stalk of the ovule, we call it as funicle. Then this body of the ovule, this complete structure is called as the body of the ovule. This is attached with the funicle by a point called hilum. The point of attachment of the ovule's body with the funicle is known as the hilum. Okay, so this is a complete ovule. Then it shows two integuments, outer and inner integument. This is outer integument, this is inner integument. And then you can observe embryo sac. Embryo sac is present inside this ovule. Now what are the things present in embryo sac? A secondary nucleus in the center, which is also known as central nuclei. Two polar nuclei fuse to form the secondary nucleus. Then you can observe three antipodal cells at the upper end, three antipodal cells, and at your base you can observe one egg cell in the center and two synergids. One egg cell and two synergids. Okay, the base of the ovule is called as the chalazal end, chalaza, and this opening tip of the ovule is known as micropyle. Now you'll say how it is known as tip, because this ovule is bent. As this ovule is bent, this part lies downwards, but it is called as the micropyle, whereas this upper part, this is chalaza. Okay. Now let's see the structure. Each ovule develops inside the ovary. Now where this ovule is present? Inside the ovary, and is attached to the placenta by a small stalk called funiculus. And this ovule is attached to placenta by a small stalk which is known as the funicle. The place of attachment of funicle with the main body of ovule is called hilum. So see here, the place where the funicle is attached to the body of the ovule, this is called as the hilum. In angiosperm, the most common type of ovule is anatropous, in which the micropyle is directed downwards and is present adjacent to the funicle. So you can observe the micropyle is present adjacent to the funicle and this type of ovule is known as anatropous ovule. Why anatropous ovule? Because the ovule is bent. Okay, micropyle lies near adjacent to the funicle. Such type of ovule is a characteristic feature of angiosperms. यानी जो हम सारे flowering plants पढ़ते हैं, flowering fruiting plants, angiosperm plants, they show a characteristic feature of this ovule, this type of ovule known as anatropous ovule. Okay, in which the micropyle is directed downwards and is present adjacent to the funicle. The ovule consists of central parenchyma tissue, the nucellus, which is surrounded usually by two protective coverings called integuments. The ovule, it consists of central parenchyma tissue. So simply this part is called as the central parenchyma tissue, then which is known as nucellus. Now here it is not shown actually, nucellus portion. Nucellus, which is surrounded by usually two protective layers known as integument. So you can observe the integument. Yes, nucellus is shown. See here, nucellus. See the spelling, Nucellus. It is not nucleus, it is nucellus. Nucellus, it shows two integuments, outer and inner integument, protected by integument. Now this nucellus is made up of पैरेन्काइमा टिश्यू. विच टिश्यू? कौन से टिश्यू से बनता है न्यूसेलस? पैरेन्काइमा टिश्यू. The nucellus, which is surrounded usually by two protective coverings, outer and inner integument, a narrow opening at the apex. Then there is a narrow opening at the apex of the ovule, which is known as the micropylar end. Micropyle chalaza is the base of the ovule. So see here, this is the base of the ovule, which is known as chalaza. Directly opposite to the micropyle. Opposite to micropyle is the chalazal end. Embryo sac, this is the embryo sac, that is female gametophyte, is oval multicellular structure embedded in the nucellus. So inside the nucellus is the presence of this embryo sac, that is female gametophyte. Female gametophyte of the embryo sac present inside the ovule. Okay, so what are the parts of ovule? Ovule is attached to the ovary with the help of placenta. The stalk of the ovule is known as funicle. Then the body of the ovule, it shows two integuments, outer and inner, which protects the embryo sac. Then inside the inner integument, a nucellus region is present, which is made up of parenchyma tissue. It gives rise to embryo sac. Embryo sac shows presence of, or embryo sac is also known as female gametophyte. Is it clear? यहाँ तक क्लियर है सभी को? कुछ डाउट है? Is it difficult to understand? समझ रहा है आपको? Please let me know in the chat box. Yes, is it difficult? Is it difficult to remember? Anyone having any doubts? Yes. Any doubts? Let me know. All of you, सभी को रिप्लाई देना है. आपको अगर बोलना है तो आप बोल भी सकते हैं. You can speak but give reply. Yes, Rutu, no doubt. Okay, what about Shraddha? Shraddha, ऋषिकेश, आदित्य, जल्दी से रिप्लाई दो. आदित्य, ऋषिकेश एंड श्रद्धा. Okay. What about Aditya and Rishikesh? Is it easy to understand? Anatropous ovule. Ovule present inside the ovary. Ovule shows presence of embryo sac, which is nothing but the female gametophyte. Okay? Yes. Now let's study development of female gametophyte. तो जैसे हमने कल डेवलपमेंट ऑफ मेल गैमेटोफाइट पढ़ा था, ये कि नहीं, पोलन ग्रेन में कैसे डिवीजन होते हैं. फर्स्ट माइटोसिस टू गिव राइज टू वन बिग वेजिटेटिव सेल एंड वन स्मॉल जनरेटिव सेल. देन सेकेंड माइटोसिस वेयर द स्मॉल जनरेटिव सेल डिवाइड्स इनटू टू मेल gametes. Then there is formation of pollen tube. Pollen tube shows two male gametes and one tube nucleus. Okay, so that is development of male gametophyte. कल जो हमने पढ़ा. Today we are going to study how this embryo sac is formed, how the female gametophyte develops. Okay, so see here. This process is known as megasporogenesis, the development of female gametophyte. It is the process of formation of haploid megaspores from diploid megaspore mother cell, that is MMC. Diploid megaspore mother cell, MMC. The process of formation of haploid megaspores from diploid megaspore mother cell is known as megasporogenesis. Megaspore mother cell becomes distinguished in the nucellus more or less in the center but towards micropylar end of the ovule. So you can just, I will we'll just see the process, developmental process, and then I'll explain you the diagram. Megaspore mother cell undergoes meiosis. So how the process of development of female gametophyte take place here? The megaspore mother cell, which is diploid, it undergoes meiotic division. Meiosis से जब meiosis होता है तो कितने daughter cells form होते हैं? 4. So here 1, 2, 3, 4. So from one megaspore mother cell, total will get 4 haploid megaspores. 4 haploid megaspores. From a diploid megaspore mother cell, we get 4 haploid megaspores. Out of this 4, 3 will degenerate. See here, 3 cells, they degenerate. Only one remains living. Only one remains functional. Okay, this functional megaspore. Now this functional megaspore further undergoes mitosis 1. What type of division? First mitosis. So when it undergoes first mitosis, the nucleus, it undergoes division. One nucleus will get divided into 2. Okay, after one mitosis, first mitotic division. Again it undergoes second mitosis. So from 2 nucleus, total nucleus form 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Then again third mitosis. So from this 4 cells, total double 8 cells will be formed. So see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now out of the total 8, 3 gets arranged towards upper side known as the antipodal cells. 3 towards lower side, which is known as egg apparatus, and 2 in the central. Okay, 2 in the central, which will later fuse to form definitive nucleus or secondary nucleus. It is known as secondary nucleus or definitive nucleus. Getting this part, क्या क्या बताया अभी तक? Please give me some reply. कुछ थोड़ा बहुत समझ में आया? डेवलप कैसे हुआ ये एम्ब्रियो सैक कैसे बनता है? This is the beginning. Megaspore mother cell undergoes meiosis to form 4 haploid megaspores. Out of this 4, 3 will degenerate. Only one remains functional. Now, out of this functional megaspore, this undergoes mitosis division. So, when it undergoes mitosis, it produces 2, means only nuclear division take place, no cytoplasm divides. So in mitosis only karyokinesis, the nucleus divides. 1 nucleus into 2, 2 into 4, 4 divide into to form total 8 nuclei. So how many times mitosis takes place? 1, 2 and 3 times. And finally then embryo sac is formed, which shows 3 antipodal cells, egg apparatus where the central egg and 2 synergids are present, and at the center secondary nucleus where 2 nuclei fuse to form a secondary nucleus. Clear? Please give me reply. I want reply from your sides. Are you getting this? Development of female gametophyte. Shraddha. Okay, yes, good. Others? जितने भी पार्टिसिपेंट्स है स्टूडेंट्स गिव रिप्लाई. आदित्य, वेरी गुड. आदित्य अहिरे, ओके. अदर्स? यस, ऋतुजा, ऋतु, योगिता, ऋषिकेश. So same thing is described here. Megaspore mother cell undergoes meiosis to form a linear tetrad of haploid cells, that is megaspore. Upper 3 megaspores abort, means they degenerate, and lowest one towards center of nucellus remains functional. It acts as the first cell of female gametophyte. Generally, one megaspore towards center is functional megaspore. It is in fact the first cell of female gametophyte. It undergoes 3 successive free nuclear mitotic divisions. So what type of division it undergoes? Three divisions, that is free nuclear mitotic divisions. Mitosis division occurs. Thus total 8 nuclei are formed, 4 of which are located at each pole. So total 8 nucleus are formed. One nucleus from each pole migrates towards the center and it forms the polar nuclei. 3 nuclei towards micropylar and constitute egg apparatus. It consists of large central haploid egg, 2 supporting haploid synergids. Synergid shows hair-like projection called filiform apparatus which guide the pollen tube towards the egg. ये जो function है ये आपको याद रखना है. That what is the role of synergid? Synergid shows hair-like projections known as filiform apparatus which guides the pollen tube towards the egg. So what are synergids here? 2 synergids surrounding the egg, female egg, and on both sides of female egg you can observe synergids. Antipodal cells are group of 3 cells at the chalazal end. The 2 haploid polar nuclei of large central cell fuse to form a diploid secondary nucleus. So these 2 polar nuclei, they come close, they fuse to form a single diploid secondary nucleus or definitive nucleus. It forms a secondary nucleus or definitive nucleus just before the process of fertilization. And total, now if you calculate, this 7-celled and 8 nucleated structure is called as embryo sac. So now calculate total number of cells and nucleus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and this one 7. So total cells how many? 7. And total nuclei. How many nucleus? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because in the center, the 2 nucleus are fused. So total 8 nuclei. So embryo sac has 7 cells and how many nucleus? 8 nucleus. This you have to remember. This method of embryo sac development from a single megaspore is described as monosporic development. Okay, so when an embryo sac develops from a single megaspore, this development is known as monosporic development. In angiosperms, the development of female gametophyte is called endosporous, that is within the megaspore. Okay, now again in angiosperm, the embryo sac, it develops inside the female gametophyte, develops within the megaspore and hence it is known as, its development is known as endosporous. Female gametophyte is colorless, endosporic and is concealed in the ovule enclosed by the ovary. How is the female gametophyte? It is colorless, it is endosporic, develops inside the female gametophyte and it is concealed in the ovule enclosed by the ovary. So this is all about the development process of female gametophyte in angiosperm plants. Yesterday we studied male gametophyte, 2 male gametes are formed. Today we studied female gametophyte, embryo sac, egg is formed, female gamete. Now why we study this formation of male and female gamete? Because we are studying sexual reproduction. So for sexual reproduction, we require 2 gametes of opposite sex, male gamete and female gamete. Now this male and female gamete will undergo the process of fertilization to produce the new generation, to produce the next generation of plants. Is this clear? Yes, give me reply. Have you understood this development process of female gametophyte? So what you have to remember here, कितने बार mitosis होता है? Then meiosis how many times? Only 1 time. Out of 4 megaspore, 3 degenerate. Now I know these terms are new for you. आपके लिए टर्म नया है, बट स्टिल यू हैव टू बी यूज टू इट. आपको बार बार पढ़ेंगे आप तो वो लर्न हो जाएगा आपका टर्म्स. ओके. क्लियर? Reply from your side, students. Yes, everyone should reply. Aditya Patil, Aditya Hire, Rutu, Rushikesh, Shraddha. Rushikesh is saying yes. Okay. Aditya, Shraddha. So what will be your today's homework? To draw this development of female gametophyte. You will just try to draw this and try to understand. Try नहीं करना है, draw करना है आपको. और ये प्रोसेस समझना है आपको, याद रखना है. डोंट फॉरगेट दिस डेवलपमेंट प्रोसेस. जैसे यहाँ दिखाया है प्रॉपर लेबलिंग्स, इसी तरीके से आपको ड्रॉ करना है. सो व्हेन यू ड्रॉ इट, ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड एवरी स्टेप, व्हाट इज हैपनिंग इन एवरी स्टेप. सिंपली बस आपको उतारना नहीं है नोटबुक में. यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड एंड देन यू हैव टू ड्रॉ. क्लियर? Yes. And you have to write what is megasporogenesis, the process of formation of haploid megaspore from diploid megaspore mother cell is known as megasporogenesis. Formation of megaspores. कल हमने पढ़ा था माइक्रोस्पोरोजेनेसिस. कल क्या पढ़ा था? माइक्रोस्पोरोजेनेसिस, प्रोसेस ऑफ फॉर्मेशन ऑफ माइक्रोस्पोर्स. Microsporogenesis. Okay, so it is easy. Mega is related to female, microspores related to male. Clear है सभी को? Now let's see the next part. Pollination. Now see here. ये कहाँ बना है फीमेल गैमेट? इनसाइड दी ओव्यूल. ओके, ओव्यूल कहाँ है? फ्लावर में, ओवरी के अंदर. वी हैव सीन द वर्ड पार्ट्स ऑफ फ्लावर, स्टिग्मा, स्टाइल, ओवरी, पार्ट्स ऑफ गाइनोशियम, राइट. तो ओवरी के अंदर है ओव्यूल, उसके अंदर है एम्ब्रियो सैक जिसमें है एग. और पोलन ग्रेन्स कहाँ होते हैं? पोलन ग्रेन्स दे आर फॉर्म्ड इनसाइड द एंथर. सो एंथर से लेके ये जो मेल गैमेट है, दे शुड रीच अप टू दिस एग. द मेल गैमेट्स should reach up to this egg. So how this male gametes will reach up to this egg? Through the process called pollination. Through a process called pollination. Okay, so now what is pollination? Pollen grains being non-motile, angiosperms have evolved the strategy to use abiotic agents and biotic agents to their flowers, feeding the visitors and exploiting their mobility for pollination and also seed dispersal. So as the pollen grains are non-motile, these pollen grains can't move on their own. So the angiosperms, they depend on abiotic and biotic agents. Now what is the meaning of abiotic agents? Abiotic means non-living, like wind and water. Then biotic agent means birds and insects and snails. These are known as biotic agents, means living agents. So abiotic agents and biotic agents are used by the angiospermic plants for the process of pollination. Pollen grains are non-motile and they are usually carried from flower to flower by means of external agent. Pollination is the transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma of the flower. So in short, you have to underline this and you should know this. What is pollination? Pollination is the transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma of the flower. This process is called pollination. It is the prerequisite for fertilization because both male and female gametes are non-motile. So it is very important step before fertilization because male and female gamete both are non-motile. They can't move on their own. So we require some pollinating agent. Self-pollination is a type of pollination which occurs in a single flower or two flowers on a single plant. It results in inbreeding or selfing. Okay, now there are two types of pollination. Self-pollination and second type is cross-pollination. See here, cross-pollination. दो type के pollination होते हैं. First, self-pollination. It occurs in the same flower, in a single flower or two flowers on a same plant. Self-pollination occurs within a same flower or two flowers present on the same plant. It results in inbreeding or selfing. In contrast, cross-pollination is the transfer of pollen grains from anther of one flower to stigma of another flower of different species. Pollination can be further divided into three types. Now देखो, basically pollination दो type के होते हैं, self and cross. Self pollination में क्या होता है? एक सिंगल फ्लावर में जब पोलन ग्रेन्स डिपॉजिट होते हैं फ्रॉम द एंथर और टू द स्टिग्मा ऑफ द सेम फ्लावर और फ्लावर्स ऑफ द सेम प्लांट, वी कॉल इट एज सेल्फ पॉलिनेशन. लेकिन क्रॉस पॉलिनेशन में क्या होता है? इन क्रॉस पॉलिनेशन pollination occurs between two flowers present on two different plants. ठीक है, यानी दो रोज प्लांट्स है और दो रोज प्लांट्स में एक प्लांट के ऊपर फर्स्ट फ्लावर है, सेकंड प्लांट के ऊपर दूसरा फ्लावर है, तो उनके बीच जब पॉलिनेशन होता है वी कॉल इट एज क्रॉस. जब एक सिंगल प्लांट में जितने फ्लावर्स है उनमें ही पॉलिनेशन होता है तो वी कॉल इट एज सेल्फ पॉलिनेशन. समझ में आया ये कॉन्सेप्ट या नहीं? बताओ जल्दी. हैव यू अंडरस्टूड सेल्फ एंड क्रॉस का मतलब, मीनिंग? If you understand this, then you can understand the further things: autogamy, geitonogamy, xenogamy. Okay, so see now the further types. Autogamy means self-pollination. It is a type of pollination in which bisexual flower is pollinated by its own pollen grains. Autogamy में क्या होता है? A type of pollination where the bisexual flower. What is bisexual flower? A flower in which androecium and gynoecium, male and female both parts are present, is called as the bisexual flower. So bisexual flower is pollinated by its own pollen grains. We call it as autogamy. मतलब एक single flower में ही जब pollination होता है we call it as autogamy. Offsprings are genetically identical to their parents. Example, pea plant. तो autogamy में क्या होता है? जो भी offsprings बनते हैं they are genetically similar, identical to their parents because it is self pollination. It occurs in pea plants. Second is geitonogamy. Second type of pollination is geitonogamy. It is the transfer of pollen grains to a stigma of a different flower produced on the same plant. So when there is transfer of pollen grains from anther of one flower to stigma of another flower present on the same plant, it is known as geitonogamy. It is functionally similar to cross-pollination as it involves pollinating agents, but it cannot bring about genetic variations and is only of ecological significance. Example, Cucurbita maxima. It is similar to autogamy as pollen grains come from same plant. So if you see first, autogamy and geitonogamy, these are two types of self pollination. By because एक ही प्लांट में सपोज एक प्लांट के ऊपर दो फ्लावर्स है, चार फ्लावर्स है, 5 फ्लावर्स है, तो उन्हीं फ्लावर्स के बीच में होता है सेल्फ पॉलिनेशन, ट्रांसफर ऑफ पोलन ग्रेन्स फ्रॉम एंथर टू स्टिग्मा, बट ऑन द सेम प्लांट. But when we go for another plant, when there is pollination between two different plants, it is called cross pollination or outbreeding or xenogamy. Xenogamy, outbreeding or cross pollination. It is a type of cross pollination when pollen grain of one flower is deposited on the stigma of a flower of different plant belonging to same species with the help of pollinating agent. ओके सो यहाँ पे क्या होता है, जीनोगैमी में दो अलग अलग प्लांट्स है, दोनों के फ्लावर्स है और उन फ्लावर्स के बीच में जब पॉलिनेशन होता है वी कॉल इट एज जीनोगैमी. It generates genetically varied offsprings. So in cross pollination we get genetic variations which we don't get in self pollination. Majority of flowering plants depend on transfer of pollen grains. Virtually all seed plants need to be pollinated. Most of the food and fiber crops grown throughout the world depends upon pollinators for reproduction. The agents responsible for pollination have been grouped into two main categories. So two categories of pollinating agents, abiotic agents and biotic agents. Now under abiotic agents, these are non-living agents which include wind and water. So what are abiotic agents? Abiotic agents are non-living agents which include wind and water. So under abiotic agents, first is pollination by wind. तो जब pollination की process with the help of wind के help से होती है, so we call it as anemophily. Anemophily, when the process of pollination takes place through the agency of wind, we call it as anemophily. And the flowers are known as anemophilous flowers. The flowers which are wind pollinated are known as anemophilous flowers. So most of the important crop plants are wind pollinated. These include wheat, rice, corn, rye, barley and oats. Palms are also wind pollinated. So what is wind pollination and what are wind pollinated plants? The plants like wheat, rice, corn, rye, barley and oats are wind pollinated plants. And what are the adaptations shown by this wind pollinated plants? First, the flowers are small. तो अगर wind की हेल्प से पॉलिनेशन होना चाहिए तो क्या फ्लावर में कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स होने चाहिए? The flowers must be small, inconspicuous means not clearly visible, colorless flowers, without nectar and without fragrance. यानी wind क्या है? अबायोटिक है, नॉन लिविंग है. तो जब विंड हेल्प करती है, जब विंड ब्लो होगी तब पोलन ग्रेन्स एक फ्लावर से दूसरे फ्लावर पे डिपॉजिट होते हैं. और ये फ्लावर्स कैसे होते हैं? विंड पॉलिनेटेड फ्लावर्स, दे आर स्मॉल, they are inconspicuous, colorless, without nectar and without fragrance. The pollen grains are light in weight, they are dry and produced in large numbers to increase chances of pollination considering wastage of pollen grains. And how are the pollen grains? They are light in weight, they are dry and they are produced in large number. Then stigma is feathery to trap the pollens carried by wind currents. How is the stigma of wind pollinated flowers? It is feathery. For what purpose? To trap the pollens which are carried by the wind currents. तो ये क्या है? ये आपको कैरेक्टर्स याद रखने हैं, इसके ऊपर क्वेश्चन पूछा जाता है. What are the adaptations in anemophilous flowers? Wind pollinated flowers. So wind pollinated flowers में कलर नहीं होता, odor नहीं होता, fragrance नहीं होता है. The pollen grains are very small, light in weight, so that they can easily carried with the help of wind. Stamens are exorted with long filaments and versatile anther. तो जो stamen होता है वो काफी बड़ा होता है, long, and it shows versatile anthers, specific type of anthers called versatile anthers, which can be easily blown, help in blowing the pollen grains. stamens and stigmas are exposed to air current, और जो stamen और stigma होते हैं both are well exposed to air, so that the wind can help in blowing the pollen grains. Okay, so now your example, pollination by wind, maize plant. मेज प्लांट में विंड की हेल्प से पॉलिनेशन होता है. पॉलिनेशन विद द हेल्प ऑफ थ्रू द एजेंसी ऑफ विंड. मेल इनफ्लोरेसेंस, फीमेल इनफ्लोरेसेंस. So see, female inflorescence showing long styles so that the pollen grains can fall on this stigma surface and the pollination will take place. The process of pollination will get over. So this is how wind pollination take place. Pollination with the help of wind. Is it clear? क्या पढ़ा हमने आज? Megasporogenesis, development of female gametophyte. Then we studied pollination. What is pollination? I told you to underline this. You should know what is pollination. Two types of pollination, self and cross pollination. Self pollination, two types, autogamy and geitonogamy. Cross pollination known as xenogamy. Okay, then there are different agents, abiotic and biotic. Abiotic agents, non-living agents, wind and water. जब pollination wind की help से होता है, we call it as anemophily, and the flowers are called anemophilous flowers. So you should remember what are the characters of anemophilous flowers. So your second homework will be write the adaptations in anemophilous flowers. Write the adaptations in anemophilous flowers. Okay. So you will write this adaptations. And what is pollination? That also you have to write. 1 mark question. What is pollination? Clear? Yes. Any doubts? Please go through the part which we have studied today. Unless and until you study, you revise, you will not understand what we are studying further. Link लगनी चाहिए आपकी, तो इसीलिए आपको स्टडी तो करना पड़ेगा, रिवाइज करना पड़ेगा, रिवीजन करनी पड़ेगी. ओके. Fine. So that's it for today. We'll stop today. Bye everyone. See you tomorrow.